Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Good Screen Podcast, episode 55. My name
55 burgers, 55 fries, 100 hash browns, 100 hot dogs.
55 podcasts.
55 podcasts.
My name is Russell.
My name is Lauren.
And today we are back with another Hunger Games movie.
I hope you're hungry for more games.
You thought Thanksgiving was enough last week, American viewers? Boy, do we got a show for you today. It's going to be short.
Maybe not.
It'll be normal time.
I think this is going to be the longest episode we've ever had.
You're just saying that.
Yeah, I am.
I'm not going to, you know what? Never mind. I'm not even going to say anything about it.
What?
We're recording in our office right now.
Oh, yeah. We've changed our podcast setup.
Yeah. I really want to have, we should upload a video when we get everything, really set up. Here's the Good Screen studio. Here's where the magic happens.
Yeah, make sure you clipped all my Miku figures.
No, I was just going to do, the corner of, I don't want to, expose our awful collecting habits.
I would not describe mine as awful. I describe them as eloquent and cultured.
Yeah, it's cultured. It's less cringe when it's a woman, so.
Exactly.
You just collect anime Barbies.
Yeah.
So
Mika's Barbie.
So yeah, we have a little setup going on.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely am going to post the video of here's the studio when we get some real stuff up. I have a really crazy idea. I'll probably tell you. I'll just tell you now. If you feel like I should cut this out,
That's the second time you said that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just really indecisive, guys. I was gonna when I retire my shoes, I'm gonna paint the Good Screen, but the N is gonna be the New Balance N, and then I'm gonna put it on the shelf for the podcast.
That's good. Can you paint Tubi on the other side?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
It might have to be really small text because the N is kind of in a weird spot, but the N is gonna be huge because it's New Balance.
I think it'll be fine.
Yeah. All right. So that's my big surprise for the yeah. But yeah, I'm really excited. This was Lauren's idea. This wasn't my idea.
Yeah, I'm smart, guys.
Yeah.
I came up with a good idea. Because we just spent the whole weekend rearranging our spare room, which is an office space.
Yeah.
And it was my sewing room, but I'm not using it as much. So I moved my sewing stuff
out. And I work
out.
from home, so I put my desk back here.
And Russell's desk is back here now. And we had this extra table from when I had my school desk back here.
Yeah.
And I said, what if we just use this as a podcasting table? And
now we're doing it.
And I'm a genius.
And we're in the back of the house now. No more random street annoyances.
It's not as echoey, probably. Not that was ever an issue before.
That wasn't an issue before. No, we were good before. And yeah, so I was surprised. She's like, all right, now all your stuff won't be on the table. And then she was like, well, even better, let's not have to clear the table ever.
Yeah.
For the pod, because we used to do it at our dining room table,
yeah.
Really professionally. I feel like we're moving up in the world.
Yeah, we're leveling up.
As a
Spotify Wrapped.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. We got our Spotify Wrapped. I had to connect our account to Spotify again for some reason.
Oh, okay.
But I got the details. Let me just. I already posted on Discord.
Give me the stats.
I'll give you the stats. So for anyone who's already on our personal Discord or the Good Screen Discord, which not a lot of people are on. We don't really post a lot on it though, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's okay. Don't feel pressured.
So one day someone will click that button, and then they'll post porn.
Oh no!
Anyway, so overall,
just make sure it's tasteful.
We did. Don't post porn on the Good Screen community. That's not Good Screen.
Okay.
So overall, let me go over the stats.
Okay, give them to me.
We created 2.2K, that's 1,000.
Yes.
Minutes created of podcast this year.
2,000 minutes?
Yeah,
that's the longest episode ever.
That's a really long episode. Our top country was Canada. I'm assuming that's mostly because of Gearbox, but also because of some other people who were in the Isha Gaming Discord when we were in there. And we had... compared to last year, which I didn't know we had a Spotify Wrapped for, we had a plus 257% streams.
Nice!
So even though I only really use YouTube to track our podcast, which I'll get to later, This is looking really good, Lauren.
Yeah, this is
looking great. Double digits on most episodes.
We're in the green.
On Spotify. Spotify's definitely our most popular platform.
Stock's at an all-time high.
It's looking good. Even if they're listening for like a second, I don't give a shit.
They didn't say the average like listen time was like 15 minutes, or was that on YouTube?
That was YouTube for that one. Yeah, anyway. Which doesn't sound good because that was like almost 2 hours.
I wonder which 15 minutes.
Yeah, they just skipped around. We had plus 66% listeners. Again, plus 257% streams. 100% more followers.
That means at least one.
At least one. And a 97% more minutes created because we started our podcast halfway through last year.
Yeah.
So that's kind of bloated. Our top episode of the year, which just blows me away. This was a good, very concise episode. Mm-hmm. But our top episode was Asteroid City and Titanic, proving that when we review a new movie, our episodes do better.
They do.
Which leads me into our last week's episode, which was about The Hunger Games, which wasn't even the new movies. Mm-hmm. And it was maybe our most viewed YouTube video since the Mario movie.
It's because everyone is like so invested in the Hunger Games lore right now. There is a resurgence of the Hunger Games. There is kind of like how Twilight had a renaissance over COVID. The Hunger Games is having a renaissance right now.
It's like the same time frame, too.
I'm being so serious. Yeah. Every meme I'm seeing on my For You page is a Hunger Games.
Josh Hutcherson.
Well, it's that and just like the one that I sent you earlier.
Yeah.
And the one that I sent you on Twitter where it's like
Go on.
It's like quote tweeting a meme that says like this bitch hates snow, and then it's a picture. Someone like quote tweeted it with a picture of Katniss.
So we have a comment on our episode 54, the Hunger Games series, the Hunger Games quadrilogy. I think that's what I named it. I ran out of space. I couldn't name it like what I wanted to name it on YouTube. But we have all four of the movies like written out. Too many characters. Yeah. Skyward posted a comment on our video.
Hello, Skyward.
He said, I remember when the first Hunger Games movie came out. I was still in school. The book's huge. At the time, I had to wait ages to borrow the books. Me and Mom went to the cinema to watch the movie when it came out. And for Christmas that year, I got Mom the DVD and last two books. The books had really nice covers on the outside, and on the outside part of the pages, they had this metallic color. I don't remember those.
That must be like a special edition. That sounds
Maybe that's
cool.
what they did in Australia.
Yeah, they have special editions for like every country area.
Yeah.
Like I know a lot of people really like the European special edition of the Hunger Games series.
Yeah. I'm just looking at this other comment from Beau is Afraid.
What's it
It's still on there because I didn't respond to it. I just liked it and hearted it. I liked and hearted Skywards too. So thank you, Skyward, for sharing.
Thank you, Skyward.
Hunger Games is a strange nostalgia trip for a lot of people.
It is. It's probably one of the only shared experiences you and I have.
Yeah, and Skyward.
And Skyward.
His mom liked it.
His mom liked it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, all right. So we did a long intro. That was a pretty long one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lauren, what are you enjoying on the good screen this week?
I have been enjoying something. It's nothing new.
No, you do have something new. Remember, we didn't talk about it yet. You were ready. It's on Netflix.
Oh yeah. So Bridgerton.
Right.
I've been enjoying the Bridgerton series. We didn't talk about it last week because we didn't talk about it last week.
We didn't talk about anything other than the Hunger Games last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll catch you up to speed now. I watched season 1 and 2 of Bridgerton.
Insane.
Well, they're like 8 episodes a season, and the episodes are like 45 minutes. So I was watching like basically a couple episodes a day. Because I put them on like while I'm knitting.
It's like, okay.
Or
yeah, that's
just
fine.
when
I don't know why I'm judging you. That's fine.
Yeah, you're weird.
I wish I could watch a TV show. I'm just jealous.
I'm sorry.
All right, go on.
So yeah, I watched season 1 and 2. I definitely like season 1 a lot more than I like season 2.
Yeah.
But I'm very much looking forward to season 3, which is set to come out in fall of next year. Because they couldn't film it because of the strike.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm looking forward to the plot line that's going to follow, because like each season follows like a different romance plot line.
Okay.
And I also have been watching, there's another Bridgerton series called
Something.
like Queen Charlotte.
Right.
It's about the Queen.
Yeah.
Who is based on the real Queen Charlotte and the real King George from the early 1800s.
Right. Can you give a quick summary
fictional.
as to Can you give a quick summary as to what it's about? Because I'm confused.
So Bridgerton takes place in the year 1813.
Right.
Is when the first series starts, at least.
Okay.
Or the first season. It is about high society in London.
Right.
Where when girls come of a certain age, they come out into society. That's where that phrase comes from in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah, they come out into society and they are eligible bachelorettes.
Right.
And it's about the families of high society in this fictional
It's
London.
It's like alternate London history a little bit.
Well, it's just based on it's real history.
Okay.
It's based on real history.
Oh.
But it's fictitious.
Right.
So it has real
it took some creative liberties.
It has creative liberties, yes.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it. It follows a handful of characters from a couple different high society families.
Okay.
And I find it interesting.
Have you ever watched Downton Abbey?
No, but the newer season is next on my list. The newer series that started a couple years ago.
I hate to break it to you, but that was not a couple years ago. That was a decade ago.
What?
The new series of Downton Abbey? I'm pretty sure that started a decade ago.
Well, I'm not watching the one that your Nana started with when she was a child. So.
Oh, no, not when she was a child. No. She watched that when I, lived with her.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it.
You're probably going to watch that one.
I'm going to watch whatever the newer one is. I'm not watching the old one.
Yeah.
I want to watch the newer one.
Okay.
But yeah, that's on my list eventually. Oh, and I am still watching Outlander.
Great.
Yeah, every once in a while I'll put on an episode of Outlander.
Okay.
It gets more and more ridiculous each episode. It's incredible.
Yeah, now that is some alternate history.
Yep.
You really like that kind of show.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched Bill and Ted? We still have 2 more Bill and Ted movies to watch, by the way. Including the one that came out a couple of years ago.
I think we should watch the new one and only talk about it for 5 minutes.
We should absolutely do that. We should do that on another I Paused My Game to Be Here episode.
Yeah.
We decided that if we ever have an episode that is all games, it's just going to be titled that. And we're just going to add a number to it. I decided that. You didn't decide.
It's a mini series.
Yeah, it'll be
sporadic.
Sporadic, but it will be an episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a numbered episode.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited for a lot of podcast stuff. We're not doing Christmas special this year, probably, but
no.
What's up? What's wrong with your arm?
There's hair.
Oh, okay. You can put it on the floor.
Oh, okay.
That's fine. We'll vacuum it up later. Yeah, we'll get it on a sock. It'll go all over the house.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. So you've been watching Bridgerton.
Yes. What have you been enjoying on the good screen?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I started watching something over the weekend, but I was so busy with moving stuff to the office and everything that I haven't even watched enough of it to even talk about it here. Let me think. I had to think really hard. Oh, man.
You're allowed to not have something.
I might not really have anything. No, I don't. I don't think I do.
That's okay. You'll just have whatever.
You know what? No. I watched a football game. Does that count? That was on the good screen.
That's a good screen.
That's sports. We never have a sport good screen.
Not in a while.
Until there's a championship. I watched...
Just wait till baseball season starts again.
Yeah. I watched a football game with Will and our friend Tyler. Will Party and our friend Tyler. Mm-hmm. Our friends Will Party and Tyler live together now.
Yeah.
And... It's exciting. So I went over to their house to watch football on Sunday after all this was done. And, well, sort of.
Well, by all this, he's referring to The Office. He made a gesture to The Office, but this is an audio
we
medium.
We don't have a video camera up yet. So I went over and we watched a football game. It was the Eagles versus the Bills. The Philadelphia Eagles. Go Birds.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
I'm staying dedicated to Philadelphia sports, at least football-wise, this year.
Mm-hmm. Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. And it was a very close game. The refs were definitely on our side. And watching a football game with dudes is just something else. I have some videos that I took from the event. I'm not sure if Will knows about that. I will splice them in here, and you will hear the reaction of Will when they got the field goal that put it into overtime. So I'll play that now.
Yeah! Fuck yeah! Holy shit!
Wow.
Oh my.
Wow, that was really cool, wasn't it?
Yeah, I loved that.
I showed Lauren. I don't think Tyler or Will knew that I was recording those videos, but I did.
I should learn the song.
Oh, he sang it every time they got a touchdown.
I don't know the song.
Fly, Eagles, fly, on the road to victory. Fight, Eagles, fight, score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3. Hit 'em low, hit 'em high, watch our Eagles fight. Fly, Eagles, fly, on the road to victory. EAGLES, Eagles! I definitely knew that off the top of my head.
Yeah,
so
you're so smart.
I can't wait to edit the volume on that one.
Yep. Yeah.
I know why people think Philadelphia sports fans are annoying now.
I know why people think Americans are annoying.
Yeah. So that's what I enjoyed on the good screen. I enjoyed the birds. Go birds, I bleed green. I wore a green shirt. That's all I had.
You did wear a green shirt. Very good.
I wore a green shirt to watch the game.
Good job.
And they won.
Yeah.
By like a few points in overtime.
You know who else is green?
What?
Hatsune Miku.
She's green?
Some people call her green. I think she's blue.
I think she's bluish turquoise.
I think she's blue.
I think she's blue too.
Lila messaged me the other day and asked what my favorite colors were. I told her pink.
And Miku blue.
Something that's autumnal tones and Miku blue.
Michael blue.
Michael blue.
Michael blue. You know, Minecraft Steve Diamond armor would look perfect on Miku.
I should put him with the Mikus.
I think
Minecraft.
I think Funko Pop Minecraft Steve is going on the good screen shelf.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we had to think about what we're putting on that.
Yeah.
So we got the shoe with the good screen logo.
We have Minecraft Steve Gold armor, diamond armor.
We have. I'm thinking
we should get all that armors.
We should definitely get a copy of Minions: Rise of Gru, which is our first ever podcast.
Let's get the Minions to Android.
Yeah, no. Let's keep it a little cheap. Let's get the Funko. No, that's too ironic. I'll get something Minions related. We'll go to Miniso. They have so much Minion stuff right now.
Oh yeah, they do.
There's something we can put the Blue Jays bobblehead.
Yes.
We can put that there, and one of the hats, like the one that doesn't fit my big head.
We can just have one of the cubbies full of our DVDs.
We could.
Be very representative.
That would be very representative. But right. I definitely think we should do Minions Rise of Gru on the shelf. Mm-hmm. Tell us what you think we should add to our good screen shelf.
Yeah, what to you represents a good screen?
Yeah.
Should we get a mini CRT?
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
If we could find one.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
Yeah. Yeah, wow. All right, cool. I guess that's all we have for the beginning part.
I think so.
So let's go ahead and transition over to talking about our movie of the day, The Hunger Games.
The Ballad
of Songbirds and Snakes.
I kept getting it mixed up if it's a ballad or the, but it is the.
The Ballad, okay.
The.
Cool, let's do it.
The. P.
I.
N.
G.
A.
S.
Pingus.
All right, Lauren, you did the research for the Hunger Bird. The Hungry Bird.
The Hungry Bird. Angry Birds?
The Angry Bird.
Okay, I'm going to start now.
Birds.
Our brains are melting. Okay, I'm going to start with the facts, and then I'll go into the fun stuff.
Okay.
Because there's fun stuff.
Here's the hard facts.
Yes. So this movie had a budget of $100 million.
Cool.
When I got the statistics last week, they had only just broken even at 101.
Crazy.
But this week, as of today, November 30th, as of doing my research on Wikipedia, they are at 203.1 million in revenue.
So that's doubled.
So there were notable actors and actresses in this. I'm not going to go over all of them.
Okay.
But the actress that played Lucy Gray, I didn't even write her name down.
Wow.
Oops. She's going to be the new Snow White.
People aren't excited about that.
Well, people aren't excited about that because she's
not excited about that.
She's not excited about it, even though she could just not do it.
Yeah.
But because
she must have a crazy agent.
Maybe, but she made comments about how she didn't like blind casting.
Yeah.
Which is when you cast someone regardless of their race. And she's not a fan of that. She's like, Snow White should be white. And I'm like, then just don't be Snow White. Let someone else be Snow White. I don't know.
She must be getting paid pretty good.
Probably. The other notable person was Hunter Schafer. Right. Who played Tigress. I didn't even know that she was in this until we saw it, and I was like, is that Hunter Schafer? She was in Euphoria.
She was.
This is the first, movie that she's been in.
You know, they're called films.
This is the first film that she's been in.
Isn't that silly? Most of them aren't on film. IMAX is film.
Russell, shut up.
All right, anyway, go on. Who played Snow?
Oh, I don't have his name. I can pull it up.
He was the main character, Lauren.
You know, I really...
There were two actors or actresses you had to pull up, and that was him and her.
You know, I really... Yeah, it was him and her.
Yeah.
That's the book Wikipedia page. This is the movie Wikipedia page. He was played by...
Yes.
Peter Dinklage was in this movie.
Oh, yeah,
and was. Viola Davis.
Yeah, very cool.
He was played by Tom Blythe.
Cool, I've never heard of him.
Before this was in a movie called Benediction.
Okay, is it about breakfast?
It's about...
You didn't think that was funny?
Is a biographical romantic drama film written and directed by Terrence Davies.
You didn't get my joke?
I didn't hear you.
I said, was it about breakfast?
Oh.
Get it?
Haha.
Oh my god.
He was also in a show called The Gilded Age, which is something that I also plan on watching, which
sounds up your alley.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then his first movie role is pretty iconic. He was in the 2010 Ridley Scott Robin Hood.
Oh.
With Russell Crowe. Do you want to know what his role was called?
Little boy.
Feral child.
Feral child.
Yes.
Well, a lot of ladies and dudes and whoever are pretty feral over him right now.
Yeah, I've seen many fan cams.
Yeah, fan cams are all over the place. He
is 4 years older than me. 2 years younger than you.
Cool.
Yeah. He's from England. He went to Juilliard.
I believe that.
Yeah. That's
what else you got for me?
Scrolling down. This is all mixed up. Okay. So the director for this movie, Francis Lawrence, he also directed some of the other ones.
All but the first one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they were originally, I think I talked about this last week a little bit. Mm-hmm. They were going to make this a 2-part film.
That would have been bad.
But yeah, then they were like, we shouldn't have done that with Mockingjay, so we're not going to do that with this. Which was probably a really good call.
It was a little long, and I'll get to that later, but...
I mean, I didn't mind
it wasn't
too
2
much.
movies.
I didn't mind the length too much.
Yeah.
Filming for this movie was mostly done in Poland and Germany.
What? I'm sorry, I was clearing my throat. What Germany?
Filming for this movie was mostly done in Poland and Germany.
Okay.
And this movie got a special license to be able to advertise during the SAG strike because Lionsgate is in part of the AMPTP, which is the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, which is one of the unions that was taking part of the strike. Mm-hmm. So because they're not a part of that, they were given license to be able to advertise.
But they couldn't do like interviews or anything like that, right?
No.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah. That's all. Those are the only real statistics that I got, unless you want me to give like the
plot
Rotten Tomatoes.
I mean, I'm assuming it's good.
I'm gonna assume it's good too.
Okay, cool.
So now I'm gonna get into the fun stuff, and this is a little in a random order. This was in the things that I wrote them down in. The order of that I wrote them down in.
Okay.
My brain is working really hard.
Yeah, it's not even late.
No, it's really not. Okay. So if you watch this movie, you may have caught on or read the book. There is a book. Oh, something interesting about the book that I told Russell about that I thought that I wrote down, but I didn't. But so this book came out in
2020.
Early 2020.
Yeah.
But because of the pandemic, it had a digital release initially and didn't release any physical copies of the books until like the next year.
I think we talked about that last week.
I think I just told you about that in Barnes & Noble.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think...
Well, eagle-eared viewers will know.
Yeah. If someone was in the Barnes & Noble and heard me...
That was like the worst thing I said all day.
I didn't like that.
Yeah, eagle-eared.
Oh, yeah. So anyways, if you read the book or watched the movie, you may have caught on that there are a lot of, like, ancestors in this, because it takes place, like, 2 generations before the Hunger Games.
Right, yeah.
So the first one that we come across is Lucretius, which is Caesar's Flickerman's dad. And even in the movie, they, like, mention, like, he has to cancel a reservation for 2 plus a high chair.
Yeah. So
that's him.
Okay.
Which also means that he's old as fuck.
Yeah.
There's another character. The one mentor that was like the blonde woman that got like stabbed in the neck with the bottle.
She died.
Yes, she did die. Her name was Arachne Crane. Okay. And is some sort of like related ancestor of Seneca Crane. The game maker.
You're right. Okay.
There was another character named Hilarious Heavensby.
Hilarious Heavensby.
Yes. Who is some sort of ancestor to Plutarch Heavensby.
Okay.
All right, now I'm getting into fun stuff.
That wasn't fun?
I'm getting into it more.
Okay.
So there are a lot of theories about how Lucy Gray could be related to Katniss.
Okay.
One of the main working theories is that she just is Katniss's maternal or paternal grandmother.
Right. Like she had a baby, maybe it was Snow's.
I don't think they ever had sex.
Well, they didn't show it.
I didn't read the whole book, so I don't know.
We watched the whole movie.
We watched the whole movie. They didn't have sex in the movie.
All right. Well, all right.
Okay. Cool. Anyways, so this is going off a theory that like after the stuff with Snow happened, she like still stayed in 12.
Okay.
Like either she left for a little bit and then came back like after the dust cleared or whatever.
Yeah, she was like, well, that was crazy.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah. And had a child with someone, and then that child was Katniss's father. Mm-hmm. Because it's mentioned in the books, like there's one part where Peeta, and I just read about this. I didn't remember this. Okay. I read this, that Peeta was talking with Katniss about her dad, mm-hmm. and about how her dad was like known for his singing.
Oh, okay.
And like his like love of music, and like there was one line that Peeta had said where he made mention that like even birds would stop to listen to him.
Oh, okay.
So like music.
Okay, that makes sense. It's subtle. Mm-hmm. Subtle enough for fan theories to arise.
Yeah. And then there's also the thing about the Hanging Tree song.
Right. Because
the Hanging Tree song wasn't one that she ever like performed. It was like a private song, basically. Yeah. So the only way that Katniss would have known that song
it was passed down.
Is if it was passed down. Right.
Now, she was very popular in District 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then another theory like adjacent to this is that it isn't Lucy, but it's her friend Maud, her blonde friend.
Okay.
Remember like the little group of friends she had, the one with like the like curly blonde hair?
Yeah, that
She's
makes
like
a little
her cousin,
more sense. Okay.
Or whatever, part of the covey.
Yeah.
Because and this would make Maud her maternal grandmother.
Right.
Because then she passed down the blonde hair to her mom, who then passed it down to Prim.
Yeah, but not Katniss for whatever reason.
Well, Katniss got her dad's hair.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it talks about in the books about how Prim looks like the mom, and Katniss takes a lot after her dad.
Okay, well, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. And then I also just read about how those in the Covey seem to have, like, a typical naming convention that involves, like, colors or plants.
Okay.
Because there's Lucy Gray. Maud Ivory.
Yeah.
Primrose. Rose is a color and a plant.
True.
And then Katniss.
And we learned that Katniss is a plant.
Katniss is a kind of, like, swamp potato.
Yeah. Which is hilarious.
They are real.
The Katniss jump scare in the movie, I was like, whoa, 10 things you didn't know about the Hunger Games.
Yeah. We, like, looked at each other and, like,
she's named after a swamp potato.
I mean, you would have known that if you just read the books.
It's been a while.
They talk about it. Yeah, and so then that also still coincides with the Hanging Tree song, because in the book, apparently Maud, like, makes mention that she likes the Hanging Tree song.
Right.
So she would have known it, so she could have passed it down as well.
Okay.
And then there's another theory that I read, which I think is a little, like, implausible. Like, I just don't like this theory as much, but I'm going to acknowledge it, which is that Lucy is Alma Coin's mother.
Okay.
So she still runs away, and she goes up north, because they do show in the movie for the very first time ever a canonical map.
Yeah, there's a map
where
online,
the districts are, and now it's online.
Yeah.
There's now a canonical map of how the districts are laid out.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to look it up, I'll just word paint it for you.
I'm surprised they're in America.
It's North America, going down into, like, Central America.
Right.
A little bit. But it's, like, all the polar ice caps have melted, and so, like, all the coasts have gone in. And District 12 is, like, Appalachia, and then District 13 is, like, New England.
Right. So I was close in saying that it was Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Because Pennsylvania's in the Appalachian area.
Mm-hmm. And so, according to this theory, like, she still escapes. She goes up north to District 13, and she's taken in by District 13.
Okay.
She has kids there, and that child is Alma Coin.
Okay.
And that during that epidemic that had happened that they talked about in the movie, like, because her whole family died, she died then.
Oh, okay.
And so that gives credence to Alma hating Snow so much and wanting to, like, kill him and also take his power.
Yeah.
But I think that one's a little too far-fetched out of the ones that she's just related to Katniss.
Yeah. Well, maybe, I don't think the possibility of another prequel book is out of the question. As much as I hate when there's a prequel, like, when you know the character, at least the one character, like, like, Star Wars did it, and, like, you just knew what was going to happen eventually. But it was cool.
Yeah.
At least the last one.
Yeah.
I mean, arguably for me, I liked all of them.
I like the prequels best.
Yeah. That'll be a fun one whenever we do that. But, like, this felt like that, but, like, it was just one movie where, like, you knew the character. Like, it started out where he was, like, such a nice guy, and he wanted to do, like, good things for the games, and he was kind of questioning how they were run. But at the same time, he was also kind of, like, helping, like, being their project manager.
Kind of, yeah.
And being like, well, we can get more views and stuff if we do it like this, if we pretend we like them. And then he, like, of course, like, he, like, falls in love, and, like, he goes out there into the games himself and helps, and he gets his first, taste of blood or whatever, and he loves it. And then it kind of goes away from that until later in the movie, but, like, you always know that that's going to come back because the kind of guy he is. You don't think it's, like, a one-off thing.
Apparently in the books, when you can, like, actually, like, read his thoughts and motives,
it's probably a lot scarier.
It's a lot worse.
Yeah.
So I read the first, like, hundreds of pages of the book.
Yeah.
I read them back when the book first came out, in physical form at least, and I bought the physical book.
Right.
When it came out. I read, like, the first 70 pages or so then. Couldn't get quite into it, and so I just put it down. I started reading it again to try and hopefully read most of it before we made this episode.
Yeah.
I ended up only reading the first 100 or so pages again because I could not fucking stand reading it from Snow's point of view.
Yeah.
I was like, this is stupid. I don't like this guy.
Yeah,
I don't care about his fucking story.
What if, like, and this is kind of like something that I guess, like, for us and Skyward and other people who have watched the other movies, like, I think it would be best to go and, like, this movie was good. I liked it. It was a good screen.
Yes, definitely.
But I think it would be best to go into this movie with not knowing, like, how it winds up.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine someone who watched, like, the first... I'm going to go back to Star Wars for a minute.
Yeah.
Can you imagine going back to the first 3 Star Wars movies and not knowing... that?
What
I mean,
happens?
it was all in the marketing and everything, but, like...
Yeah.
Can you imagine just, like, being in a vacuum, like your parents show you the movie, like, 10 years later or whatever, and you didn't see any of the marketing or you didn't see any of the old movies, and you're like, holy shit. That would be huge. But like for everyone else, it was like, oh, of course he becomes Darth Vader.
We should do that with our children.
That's probably what's going to happen. And there's going to be a whole generation of kids who think those are, well, there already are a whole generation of kids who think those are the best movies. And probably because that's how they, like, their dad or their mom showed them the movies in order, because that's, the order. Unless they were, like, really, like, into the...
Mine didn't.
Yeah, and that's exactly, like, what I was going to say.
But the prequels are my favorite.
Yeah. And I was young enough that I appreciate them for what they are. I know, like, it's a big thing online for people to be like, oh, these movies are so silly and goofy, but, like, come on.
All of them
like,
are?
They all are. And if anything, like, yeah, maybe they need a better writer, but, like, what you got is something good. And there's a new appreciation for them. And I feel like this movie is going to give out a new appreciation for the sequels, but not in, like, a, wow, these are much better. Like, wow, this is, like, actually a very cohesive story now. And where Star Wars, like, it was a cohesive story, but it was written like an 8-year-old wrote it.
Yeah.
No offense to George Lucas and his billions.
It's like an
billions
8-year-old, like, what is in your pockets? Why are you emptying your pockets right now?
I don't know why I'm emptying my pockets right now. I had screws from the monitors I took apart.
Wow. Anyways, it's like an 8-year-old fever dream, like,
but this is written very, very well. This was very good. So I'm kind of jealous of anyone who walked into this not really knowing about the Hunger Games, because it's been so long and it's only getting popular now, or getting popular now. Like, and I wonder how many other, like, young adult novels or, like, anyone else is gonna try and follow the trend before it gets old, basically.
Yeah.
Like, is there going to be a Divergent prequel now? Is there going to be a
Nobody
Maze
liked
Runner
Divergent
prequel?
that much in the first place. Everyone who liked Divergent lied.
Yeah. Is there going to be a prequel to The City of Ember, which was the book that Lila posted about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't have a nickname for Lila. Lila's just Lila.
She's just Lila.
Wow.
I still have one more theory to go over.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
and then,
go ahead.
like, more information. So another theory is that Lucy survives. Like, she doesn't get shot. Because I did see a lot of people saying,
I think she survived.
Yeah, I think she survived. Yeah. And then a lot of people are saying, like, well, he was bitten by the snake. What if he was, like, hallucinating after that?
Right.
So Lucy Gray survives, and she returns to District 12.
She's like, that man's crazy.
But she changes her name.
Oh.
Do you remember reading the Hunger Games books, and there's a character named Greasy Say?
No.
She's in the first one. She's a character in the Hob. So in the movie, she's represented as the one who gives Katniss the pin.
Okay.
But in the books, that's not who gives Katniss the pin. It's the mayor's daughter that gives Katniss the pin.
Right.
Because they're friends. But in the books, Greasy Say is someone who Katniss and Gale trade with often.
Okay.
Like, they will give her game, and she will make them food from it.
Right.
And also just is like a maternal figure around the town.
Grandmother.
Type character, yeah. And in the book, she does have a grandchild. Okay. So she would be around the same age as Snow, because Snow also had a grandchild at that point.
Right.
So there's just because Greasy Say, Lucy Gray.
Right. That's close.
Yeah.
All right. That could be.
Yeah. That's pretty much the whole theory.
Okay,
that's
cool.
It. And then a fun fact. So in the Hunger Games books, there is one part where Katniss is talking about the previous victors, like when she meets Haymitch.
Right.
Because she's like, she knows of Haymitch, and she knows there's someone else who won, but like history is lost on her.
Right. And that's the next prequel book.
Well, what? Oh, Haymitch?
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
But no, it just, like, it makes mention that there's another victor, but like has been, like, nobody remembers who it is.
Yeah.
But that's because Snow, like canonically, like, deleted the footage of the game
from the 10th game.
Yeah, and like erased like Lucy Gray's name from
history.
Okay. And then also another interesting thing, so Mags, the old lady from District 4 that went with Finnick to the Quarter Quell,
right?
She won the 11th Hunger Games.
Oh.
So she, was 16 at the time.
Right.
And even though there wasn't, communication between districts necessarily,
yeah.
And also the games at the time, they were only televised in the capital. They weren't televised to the districts yet.
Right,
then.
and they were less elaborate overall.
Yes, yeah. But it's still super plausible that she would have heard the story of Lucy Gray.
Right.
Just through the grapevine and stuff.
And she would have saw it.
Saw what?
Oh wait, she wouldn't have saw it.
No,
she was in
wouldn't.
The capital.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's interesting.
So that just happened.
That's pretty much all I got.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you like this movie?
I did like this movie.
I liked it more than all the others.
The first one holds a special and nostalgic place in my heart.
Right.
Catching Fire is my favorite one of all of them. But I feel like this one is right in the middle.
This one did what I wanted the other movie to do when they started the games. When they started the games, it was very simple. They're going to go kill each other. It was kind of more. It was shot better. First of all, let's just say that.
Okay, you have your preferences.
I have my preferences.
I don't want to hear anything ever again about
the
shaky
director.
cam.
No. I'm not talking about the shaky cam. I'm talking about all the movies now. It was when the game started. That was the best part of the movie. Mm-hmm. It was very quick. It was very wow. It was showing.
The game itself was very quick. The game only took 2 days.
Right, but everything, all the action stuff was very fast paced, but you could track it all really easily. Mm-hmm. They showed how it was brutal, the girl throwing up when the one guy died or whatever.
Yeah.
It was clever, and it slowed down when it needed to slow down, when the girl tried to drink the poisoned water or whatever. That part was fucking amazing. It felt more like the B word, the battle royale. How brutal that movie was when it came to the Hunger Games, because I guess the director just got better over the last 10 years or so.
I wonder what else he's done.
I don't know, but this was I honestly did not expect it to be the same director, but good job for him. I thought it was great.
All right, let me see. I'm going over his filmography. In 2005, he did a movie called Constantine. In 2007, he did I Am Legend.
I went over those two, I think.
Yeah, in 2011, he did Water for Elephants.
Yep.
Then he did Catching Fire, Mockingjay Part 1 and Part 2.
Yep.
In 2018, he did a movie called Red Sparrow.
Never heard of that one.
It stars Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, okay.
And in 2022, he did a movie called Slumberland.
Okay.
It has Jason Momoa.
Okay.
That's it. Those are the only movies he's done since then.
Huh.
Maybe he's just studied a lot.
He's a studier. He's a learner.
Yeah, I guess so.
Red Sparrow. I'll remember that.
He's done a lot of commercials.
Cool. Well, yeah. But I loved how they showed the evolution of the Hunger Games in this. Mm-hmm. I thought it was pretty cool how they did it with the screen with they didn't have victors helping them.
Oh, yeah, like mentors.
Or mentors. They just had, the people from the Capitol helping them. I mean,
those were the first generation of mentors.
Yeah, I like how they did that.
Yeah. Felt more like a game show.
Right. It felt like an actual, show, TV show series or something like that. And the aesthetic was pretty good, even though it was, kind of, reminded me of Fallout.
I think that's the vibe it was meant to give, because it was only 10 years after the war had ended.
Yeah.
They were still post-war.
Which
is why there was, a 1950s, visage about it all.
Yeah. So is the war in the Hunger Games supposed to be, World War II or something?
I feel like that's a whole other, rabbit hole.
Another rabbit hole
you
lore.
Could go down.
Somebody comment on our YouTube video if you know that kind of lore for the Hunger Games, because I'm kind of interested now.
I don't think there's a canon about that.
You don't think there's a canon? All right,
no.
Show me your best fan fiction.
Yeah, give me your best fan
Send me your best fan fiction. Lara Croft and Sonic have to be in each one.
No, they don't.
Okay.
I know one thing that I saw, because a lot of people are now asking for stories about other games, specifically Haymitch's game and Finnick's games.
Yeah.
But then I saw some people making comments like, well, now you're just as bad as the people that are in the Capitol because you want to watch the World Night about the games. It's like, no, we want to learn about these characters.
Yeah.
And the games that they took place in. Like,
yeah. Sorry, it's a book. It's not like we're like, well, now we want to watch footage of Guantanamo Bay.
Do you know how Mr. Beast is doing Squid Games?
Oh, God.
What if he did a Hunger Games?
I think his window of opportunity is over for that.
No, I think it's opening. He did the Squid Games way after Squid Games started.
Oh, that's true.
I think his window of opportunity is open.
See, that's where it's like, okay, I don't think you guys got this.
Do you know what?
Same with Squid Game. Like I don't think they got the message for that either.
I know that Roblox is doing like a real big event for like a Roblox is like sponsoring this. This isn't just a server. Roblox
for the Hunger Games? Yeah,
about this where you are a mentor.
Okay.
And you have to like survive school or whatever. But this has made me really want to go play Minecraft Hunger Games so bad. I might do it later. The thing about Mr. Beast is that like he's literally just doing Squid Game. Like he like the point of that is like isn't like this kind of fucked up? What people do anything for money? We all know that. So like don't just do it in real life. That's lazy. People are stupid. Yeah. So, no, I do not want him to do a real life Hunger Games. I think that would suck. You know what actually started the Battle Royale genre? Fortnite. I think it was a short story. No, it was not Fortnite. It was a short story. I think it was called The Most Dangerous Game, where like this guy went to this remote island and he met this like rich dude who loved hunting. And then he found out that he was trying to hunt him. Oh. Yeah, I read it in high school. That's interesting. I was like, that's interesting. And then 3 years later, the Hunger Games came out. And that's the first thing I thought of then. Yeah. Because I didn't know about Battle Royale. Cool. But yeah, it was a really good movie. I'm not going to spoil. I will say one thing. It was much longer than I thought it would be. Yeah, agreed. Parts of it felt, I did not expect. It's like 2.5 hours long. Yeah, it's almost 3. Like I did not expect it to be like a 3-part. It was segmented into 3 different parts. Yeah. And I was expecting it to be like part 1, part 2, and then it was like part 3. And I was like, wait, what the fuck? Yeah. Like this movie had like 2 endings basically. Kind of. A good ending and a bad ending. Yeah. But like it was crazy. I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it was better. I will say I thought it was better than all the other movies. You're entitled to your own opinion. I'm entitled to my own opinion. I would say this is a good screen. I would also say this is a good screen. Cool. Do you have anything else you want to talk about the movie? Not that I can think of. Cool. Do you want to move on to other things? I will just say I love all the memes. Memes are good. Not only the Josh Hutcherson whistle, but also just everyone making fun of Coriolanus. Yeah. And like on one hand, like everyone's really thirsty for him, and then on the other, everyone just makes fun of him. Yeah. And I think they're both equally hilarious. Yeah. All right. Cool. So, memes are awesome. I love memes. What we learned today is that when you meme, you dream. When you meme, you dream. Don't let your memes be dreams. I'm always dreaming. Can I talk about that dream I had? If you want to. All right. No. All right, yeah, I'll talk about my dream. I don't remember all the details because you told me right when I woke up. Yeah, it was crazy. Like, it was very vivid. So I woke up an hour or so early, an hour and a half earlier than I should have because I was paranoid about my alarm going off and waking up Lauren because I put my phone charging on Lauren's pillow and she just put it next to her side table. Yeah. Context. Well, because normally when I walk around the bed, you wake up, and I didn't want to wake you up. Yeah, and I didn't wake up. Well, you did for a second. I did? Yeah, we talked for a second. Oh, all right. You never remember that, though. Yeah, I don't remember that. So I got up and got my phone. I looked at the time. It was 5:30. I was like, oh, I have an hour and a half. And then the last thing I thought before I went back to sleep was, that's like, I wish I could just watch a movie in my sleep. And then I had a dream that I could watch movies in my... Like, I was learning about watching movies in my sleep. Yeah. And then, but like, when I did that, I would dream in the movies, and I'd be like, I'd alter the movies with what my dream was. It's just some Inception shit. It was like some crazy stuff. Like I wanted to watch, I don't even know what movie it was, but like I got out of the movie and I woke up and then I went like looked at the DVD box and like I was there. You woke up in the dream? Yeah, in the dream. You're not supposed to fall asleep in your dreams, Russell.
Oh, you're not?
No.
I was already sleeping in the dream.
That's how you never wake up.
No, I was already sleeping in the dream. So I woke up in the dream. I didn't fall asleep in the dream. I woke up in the dream.
Yeah, they say you're not supposed to fall asleep, and when you have a lucid dream, you're not supposed to fall asleep.
Oh. How do you control that?
You control lucid dreams.
Oh, okay. Well, it wasn't...
That's what that means.
It wasn't a lucid dream, that's for sure. It was like bits... Like, it was just me remembering what I was talking about, honestly.
Have you ever had a lucid dream?
I don't think so. I remember I used to when I peed my pants. Like when I was like 3.
Wow. I had lucid dreams a lot when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a lucid dream because it was just me remembering something that I did when I was about to fall asleep. And same thing with my other dream earlier in the night. That was weird.
Yeah.
Like I was living my podcast or the podcast I was listening to. Mm-hmm. Crazy. Dreams are weird. Comment your favorite dream below.
Yeah, tell us about the craziest dream you've ever had.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. All right, so I guess we should move on. You know what? I do remember something that I have for my good screen, but I'm going to just let it go.
Yeah, we're way past that.
I'll talk about it next week.
Okay. Do you want to start us off with our screenless shoutouts?
Yeah, Lauren, what's your screenless shoutout?
I meant like, do you want to go first?
Do I want to go first?
Yeah.
I never go first.
You're going to go first today.
I guess I need to have a screenless shout out.
Yeah.
My screenless shout out is my new desk area.
Okay.
I like being back here in the office.
I like how it hasn't changed your productivity at work.
It has not changed my productivity at work.
I think it's worse because the bedroom's right next to the office.
I don't go in the bedroom.
When you wake me up.
Oh, yeah. But it has made it easier when I go into meetings and stuff, which is nice. Mm-hmm. I did have 2 meetings this week, so that was cool. Mm-hmm. Business Russell. But no, it's good to have like a dedicated area again. Once we finally like actually finish up out there, probably over this weekend. Mm-hmm. It'll be nice to kind of have a clean table, especially now that we have the podcasting area that we're gonna improve eventually. Yeah, I can probably just take a picture of what it looks like now, so that everyone knows like.
It's an IKEA Lindemann desk with my MacBook and RF mics.
And a big light.
It's not even on.
It's not even plugged in. Yeah, it's not that dark. It's not as dark as I thought it would be over here. If I plugged this in and it just shined off the white table, yeah, I'd probably have a headache. Probably had to like, well, it has like a dim mode and a bright mode. It's different.
I do too.
Me too. So I would say overall, my screenless shout out is my desk area and all that, but that's kind of also like a screen shout out.
No, we did something.
My screen is there. An area. It is an area.
Well, your screen happens to be there.
It does happen to be there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice. What was that?
I burped a little.
Oh.
Was it before that?
No, it wasn't. I don't know. That was weird.
Oh, I didn't hear anything.
Well, maybe I'm going nuts.
Maybe.
But yeah, it was. It's nice being back here. It's nice having the podcast area, and that is my screenless shout out.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I don't have much to say.
That's okay.
But I know you do.
Do I?
Oh yeah.
About what?
Please don't tell me you forgot.
Oh no, I have a couple things to talk about.
What is your screenless shout out?
I have like 2.
They're books.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh wait, they weren't the books?
No, I was going to talk about those too.
All right,
I was
what's
also
your
going to
first
say
one?
I finished the sock.
Okay.
I'm working on an actual pair of socks now because that first one was just practice.
Sock saga's not over.
I don't think I ever posted a picture of it, so I will.
Okay.
And then my main
You posted in our Discord.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of the progress, I think.
Yeah. I didn't post the finished one, I don't think.
Yeah.
My main screenless shout out is... So, Russell's birthday was like 2 weeks ago. And part of...
3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago. And part of spending the day out for his birthday was we went to Barnes & Noble.
We did.
And when we were at Barnes & Noble, we came across this display of books.
Had a dragon on it.
Had dragons on them.
Yeah.
And so we happened to be looking at them as a saleswoman comes by. And she like sells us the book hard. She's like, there was a midnight release for this book.
We can't keep them on the shelves.
Can't keep them on the shelves.
Better
there
get
were
it
hundreds
now.
of people lined up.
Yeah.
And so we were like, this must be incredible. Let's buy both of these exclusive hardbook editions of this book. Well, I bought them for Russell for his birthday.
Yeah, and I was like, cool, dragons, very cool. Didn't look at the inside cover or anything.
Nope, didn't really read much of the plot other than it's cool when you get a dragon.
Yeah, it's like Harry Potter with dragons. I was like, oh, sign me up.
Except it's nothing like that at all.
It's nothing like that. I started reading the book, and within the first 10 pages or so, I was like, oh no, this is a girl book. And I told Lauren, and I was like, oh man, this is a girl book. I have my suspicions like really early on that I'm not going to like this book, or it's not going to be written for me.
It's not written for you.
And then
Can confirm.
Lauren started reading the book, so go ahead.
They were written for me specifically. The book series is called The Fourth Wing.
Right.
The second one is called Iron Flame. It just came out.
Right.
Like right before we bought it. And they are about this fictional world that takes place on this continent. I forget if the continent itself is called Navarre. I forget the specifics. I read it really fast. I'm going to read it again. Okay. So I read the first book in like a week. It's taken me a bit longer to read the second book because I haven't been able to. It's longer.
Yeah.
And I haven't been able to read it at work. So it's the main character. Her name is Violet Soaringale. Her mother is like an infamous war general, and her dad was a scribe, which is like a historian basically. And her dad died. What the fuck are you looking? Why are you put it away? I don't care.
Oh, look at it.
Put it fucking away.
All right, sorry.
I'm talking here.
I apologize.
So the main character's named Violet Soaringale.
Yeah,
she's the daughter of an infamous war general.
Right.
General Soaringale.
Mm-hmm.
Her dad was a scribe.
Yeah.
And her dad raised her to be a scribe, but then her dad died. And she also is like written to have this thing called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome.
Yeah, which we're very familiar with.
We had a friend who had it. And basically it's like your joints pop out very easily and you have like hypermobility, and it's not fun and it's painful.
Right.
And
you wind up in a wheelchair eventually.
Eventually you wind up in a wheelchair most of the time.
Yeah.
So she's like, I can't be a dragon rider, like, no. And her mom's like, actually, you are. And if you don't, I'm going to, like, drag you by your ear into it anyways. So.
Mom of the year.
You're going to do it anyways. Low key, yes.
What? You think so?
I think so.
Because she meets a boy?
No. There's, like, stuff that happens in the second book.
Oh, okay.
Her mom is kind of like in on some of the stuff going on.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And
of course.
And so
Hunger Games
she
inspiration.
goes to this academy.
Right.
I don't know how to actually pronounce it. I just read it. I don't know how to say it.
Okay.
And there's like different quadrants, and she's in the Rider quadrant.
The Fourth Wing.
Well, that's her. The Fourth Wing. So like there are, it's like army divisions. Okay. There's like First Wing, Second Wing, Third Wing. She's in Fourth Wing.
Okay.
In Flame section.
Flame on.
Yes.
Flame on.
You're ruining this.
Yeah, sorry.
And so while she's there, one of her childhood friend Dane is there, and he's a section leader. He's a year ahead of her, so she's a first year. He's a second year.
Don't give away the whole plot, Lauren.
I'm not. This is stuff you read in the first like 100 pages.
Okay.
And then her sister Mira has already like graduated. She's a lieutenant by now. And because her sister's like 6 years older than her, something like that, 5 years older.
Okay.
And her sister Mira tells her to stay away from Xaden Ryerson. And
of course, you know.
Yeah, so basically the whole goal is for her to survive the year.
Mm-hmm.
And then even if she survives all of the stuff, because like they're allowed to kill each other. Like basically,
which is weird.
It's like a survival of the fittest type thing. And so even after they survive all that, and they survive this thing called the Gauntlet, which is like this like huge like American Ninja Warrior wall, but it's like death is the consequence. It's not just falling in a pond. Well, no, to get into the school you have to walk across the parapet.
Oh, okay.
And it's basically like this narrow path that goes over like this ravine that you have to cross over to get into the school.
Okay.
And that's like a proof of valor or whatever.
Right, sure.
And what the fuck was I saying? Oh, there's the Gauntlet, which is like this huge like obstacle course where it's you go up like the side of a mountain or like a cliff basically, and there are obstacles that you have to overcome. But these obstacles are all like relevant to like dragon riding.
Okay.
And so after you get past that, then you can go to this thing called threshing, which is when a dragon chooses you.
Right.
And so the whole goal is to survive all this and get to threshing.
Yeah, so that's like the elevator pitch for you, for the movie, the book.
Pretty much. And also, there's sex.
There is sex.
There is sex. It's written by women for women. It is incredible.
It's a fantasy novel.
I understand why moms were lining up for Twilight after reading this. Like, I get it now.
Twilight didn't have a lot of sex.
It had no sex, actually, until after they were married, and they didn't talk about the sex in explicit detail.
Yeah.
But it's very, like, high stakes, high emotions.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And also, it's, like, not even, like, kind of, like, YA. Like, it kind of is a little bit in, like, the plot scheming, but
it feels out of place YA. Like, from what I read.
It's very adult. Like, all the characters are over 20 years old.
Right, but like...
Which I really like. Because it'd be weird if they were 18 and having sex.
Yeah.
She's, like, 21.
2 more years, no problem.
Shut up. Well, it is 2 more years, so it is no problem.
No problem.
Yeah, Violet's 20 when it starts.
Yeah, so... when the part for the dudes, all right, I started like thinking like, oh, maybe I can read it. I started reading this, and like I was like, oh, this is a young adult novel. Like it's written like, oh, my life sucks, my mom sucks, but I had to do this thing, and then like very out of place like sexual innuendo, and I was like, oh, this is weird.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like first 20 pages of the book, and I was like, this is an young adult. Old adult novel. That's the vibe I got. It's just an adult
fiction novel.
Yeah, that's the vibe I got. Like, maybe I just read too much sci-fi, but like it was very, very bizarre. Like,
I think you just read too much
feeling.
sci-fi.
Like it was easy to read. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's easy to read.
Even
I
for
read the first
novel.
one in a week.
Yeah, I read 20 pages in like a half hour, which I thought was impressive. It's a big book.
When we sat down in Barnes and Noble one time, it was after we had bought it, but you were still reading it.
Yeah.
I read the first 40 pages in like 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's a quickie.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is a quickie.
Mm-hmm.
So that's nice. That's nice you're enjoying a book.
Books.
You paid for them, so
I paid for them. I'm getting my damn money's
got
worth.
your money's worth. You can read it again.
I lent the first one to one of my coworkers.
And they read it?
After I finish my second one, I'm gonna lend it to my boss.
Man.
And because when I told her that I had gotten the book,
it was hard to get. It was hard to get elsewhere.
Well, it's hard to get, but
anywhere.
Also just when I had told her about how I got the Fourth Wing book, the first one, she was like, "Oh my god, you'll have to tell me what you think of it." Like I could tell she like loved this book.
Right.
And so then I texted her and I was like, "You didn't tell me it gets spicy. Like,
yeah, wow.
Damn." And
I had to get you 50 Shades of Grey for
I already
Christmas.
read it. I already read it.
I had to get you Gone Girl for
good.
Christmas.
No. Give me A Crown of Rose and Thorns.
Oh, that's another one.
Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oops, I did it again. I keep tapping the microphone. Yeah, if you are a woman in your mid-20s, you would really love Fourth Wing.
Cool.
It is very long, though, so if you get a digital version, just be prepared. Because I know Lila was debating get a digital or borrowing mine.
Okay.
Because it is long. Both of them are very long.
Yeah.
But they're easy reads. They're very nicely detailed and very, very well written.
Mm-hmm.
And the author's previous work to this was pretty much exclusively erotica, so she can write a good scene.
All right.
And the author does have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome.
Cool.
So this is like a representation story as well.
Yeah.
Because like she has it, and it's not like she overcomes it, but she
just has it.
She lives with it, and it like it's not like ever like dropped and never talked about again like a lot of stories do. It's like it actively talks about how she has to accommodate and like learn and overcome.
I ought to hit up our old friend who has it and see like, hey, have you read this book series? This is pretty cool for you, probably, right?
They're like,
but yeah, that's going to be it for the podcast this week, everybody. I did not write down the ending script that I had that one time, but I'll try and do it again, okay? You ready?
Yeah.
If you enjoyed listening to our podcast this week, you should follow us on the podcast app you're on. We should be on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. If you want to follow us on social media, you can find us at Good Screen Pod at the following social media websites. YouTube, that's social media. Threads. Tumblr, which I always say I'm gonna like start posting it again soon, and I don't. And
are we on
Instagram?
Threads?
We're on Threads. I said Threads.
No, you didn't.
Did I not say Threads?
No.
I'm pretty sure I said Threads.
You did not say Threads.
All right, let me try that again.
You know, Russell, you can just copy and paste the last one. A lot of podcasts do that. They have like a recorded ending bit.
No,
like
I'm going to say it every time. I appreciate our fans and our new fans. I'm going to say it every time. You can find us on Threads, Instagram, Tumblr, and YouTube at Good Screen Pod. If you liked the episode, you can also leave a comment on YouTube, and I will probably read it. I will definitely read it. Mm-hmm. Especially if you say that we were bad to Bo. Mm-hmm. Like we were. You can also email us at goodscreenpod@gmail.com, and you can expect another episode in the future. Also, rate on Apple Podcasts is also a good thing to do, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Give us 5 stars on Spotify.
Like on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And
leave a comment.
Leave a comment.
Share. Not the woman, but the action.
Leave it on while you're doing something else, and mute it. Whatever, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you again for listening, and we'll see you next time on The Good Screen.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.